So the context class is part of a data access layer. And we are going to create a folder called DAL, and we're going to put our context class inside that. So to do that, we're just going to right click up here on our project. We are going to add a folder. And we're going to call the folder DAL for Data Access Layer. And then the next step is going to be to create a school context class inside that. So we're going to right click and we're going to add, and we're going to add a class. I'm going to call it School Context. And then I've got some code that you're going to copy and paste in here. And we're going to copy and paste all of it. And I'm going to highlight everything and paste over the top. So you can see that we are deriving from DB context, and we already talked about how important this is because it does all the interfacing with the actual database itself. And you'll notice that we've got school context, and then we have properties, and these properties are actually defining our tables. So DB set student, DB set enrollment, DB set course. Okay, so these are referring to the models. And then this is what our tables are going to be called: students, enrollments, and courses. Then, by default, it likes to pluralize table names. And so this little override gets rid of that. Okay. There is some disagreement on whether table names should be pluralized or not. Honestly, I don't care if they're pluralized, but we're going to include this code in here just so you know how to kind of remove that convention from Entity Framework. Okay, so this is just an override on model creating. And then DB model builder. Okay, it's removing a convention that is part of Entity Framework. And it's using a Fluent API to do that. Okay, so Fluent API is quite often used to create overrides. And to access Fluent API, you need to override on model creating, which is what we're doing. Okay, so this is just an example of how to utilize Fluent API. So this is going to specify our tables. A couple things to note. We already said it was derived from DB content. This code that we have is basically a constructor. Okay. And then we have the three models that are going to be used to create our tables. And because we are doing that, we have a using statement at the top that allows us to use that code. If you want to see more model configuration conventions, I do have a link. Okay, that gives you a full list. But our next step is actually going to be to add the test data. And the next video will show you that.